you just worked hard yesterday on doing the algorithm, and today you've got to do the area model. Remember, the area model, though, is just a strategy for solving division. If you get stuck on a division problem doing the standard algorithm, then you might want to go back and try to break the number apart into the area model to see if it helps you some. So you saw how Mr. Walker did on the video before this. We're going to look at it both ways today. And you need to understand the area model for division. You need to be able to do that. We've got to be able to use it if we need to. And we're going to practice the standard algorithm too. Now, we're going to look at 4 or 5 problems together before you go do your homework today. Let's just make sure we understand what the area model of division represents. So we're going to look at 4 that already has the area model set up. And then we're going to have to determine what equation this represents. And then we'll go ahead and solve it using the standard algorithm. Okay? So let's take a look at this area model. I've got a 60 and an 8 divided by 2. So can you tell me what numbers a 60 and an 8 would be? It's just these two added together, isn't it? 60 and 8 would be 68. Here I go with my typing issues again. Oh, look where I wrote it, though. Look what I wrote. 2 divided by 68. Is that what that shows? Is this 2 divided by 68? Absolutely not, Mr. Helton. You better be careful with that. I did it without even thinking. So our number that we're dividing is 68. It's divided by 2. Now, if we're using this area model, it's really easy. How many 2s are in 60? In other words, what times 2 gets me 60? That would be 30, right? And how many 2s are in 8? 4 times 2 would be 8. And we have a 30 and a 4. The answer would be 30 plus 4, or 34. So but let's go ahead and put that there. But let's use the algorithm here and make sure that's right. So we have the number 68. And we're dividing it by 2. Let's see if 34 is the right answer. We'll kind of check it with the standard algorithm. All right, how many 2s are in 6? There are 3. All right, multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. We subtract. 6 minus 6 is 0. And we bring down that 8. We start all over again. How many 2s are in 8? There are 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract. 8 minus 8 is 0. We have no remainder. So our answer is 34, just what we got there. Okay, so this area model represents 68 divided by 2. And the answer would be 34. So it's not that hard, is it? Let's take a look at another one. Let's find the equation. Maybe I'll write it correctly up here. We have 90 and a 6. What number does this represent? 9, 10, 6 ones would be 96. We're dividing it by what? By 3. Okay, so let's think about this. How many 3s would be in 90? What times 3 gives me 90? Well, it would be 30, right? 3 times 3 is 9, and we add the 0, so we know it should be a 30 here. And how many 3s are in 6? 2 times 3 is 6, so the answer should be 30 and a 2, 32. Let's put it over here in our standard algorithm box. So the problem is 96 divided by 3. And we'll go through these steps again. How many 3s are in 9? There are 3. Multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract. 9 minus 9 is 0. Bring down our 6. We'll start all over again. How many 3s are in 6? There are 2 3s in 6. 2 times 3 is 6. We subtract, and we get 0. So 96 divided by 3 is 32, and that's what we decided. So we got it right. Okay, take a look at this area model. A little more difficult this time, but not really. Got a 60 and a 12. It's not going to be 62, is it? Because I've got a 1 in the tens place here. So what's 60 plus 12? 72. What are we dividing by? By 3. And we'll talk about why they divided it up this way in this area model. Can I do 60 divided by 3 pretty simply? Sure, but I couldn't have done 70 and a 2 because I don't know what times 3 gives me 70, and 3 won't even go into 2. So this was broken up like this to make it a little easier to solve. What times 3 is 60? Okay, well, 2 times 3 is 6, and add a 0, so 20. 20 times 3 is 60. And how many 3s are in 12? There would be 4. So 24 is what we think the answer is. Let's write it over here under our long division box. 72 divided by 3. How many 3s are in 7? There are 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down that 2. Okay, and I'm left with 12. How many 3s are in 12? There are 4 3s in 12. 4 times 3 is 12. And then we subtract that. 12 minus 12 is 0. So 72 divided by 3 is 24. That's what we put up here. All right, next, we've got one more we're going to work on before we go do our homework. And look, it's very similar. We've got a 60 and a 12 again, but this time we're dividing by 4. Okay, so what does that 60 and 12 add up to? Do you remember? 60 and 12 is 72. We're dividing by 4. All right. How many 4s are in 60? That's kind of a hard one, isn't it? Can you think of what that would be? 4 times 15 is 60. You might not have known that. This is a harder way to do it. 15 and 12. How many 4s are in 12? 3. 3 times 4 is 12. So we've got 15 and 3 more. 15 plus 3 would be 18. It's a little hard one to solve in the area model, isn't it? Let's go ahead and put it over here in the standard algorithm. I think it'll be easier over here. So 4. Okay. 72 divided by 4. How many 4s are in 7? I'm going to mess up on purpose right now just to show you something that you might accidentally do. I'm going to say 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 7 minus 8. Can you take 8 away from 7? You can't. So anytime you put a number here that makes this number bigger than this one, you know this number's too big. You're going to have to change it. So let me go change these because 2 gave me an 8. So I know that's too big, so I'm going to have to put a 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Now subtract. 7 minus 4 is 3. Bring down the 2. 2 now. Now we have to ask ourselves how many 4s are in 32. If you know your facts, you know that 8 times 4 is 32. And we subtract. 32 minus 32 is 0. No remainder. So 72 divided by 4 is 18, just like we put. All right, so that's using the area model to solve division. If this helps you on your homework today, break it up and do the area model. You'll have one problem that's written like this, and then you have to tell what the equation represents. So you should be able to do that easily. The rest of them are just dividing. If you want to do it with the area model, do it with the area model. Otherwise, you can set up the standard algorithm if you have easier time doing that. Whichever strategy is easiest for you, you can use on the assignment today, okay? All right, go get started on that now. See you later.